I have known for a long time that Britney Murphy was most probably, allegedly, terminated, and she didn't just pass away, as per the coroner report, of anemia with pneumonia and other drugs in her system. That's not what happened. I've known for a very long time that she was deleted. When this happened many, many years ago, there was a rumor swirling around that she was hanging out with a customs agent and they were checking into trafficking going along the U.S. Mexican border. Sound familiar? So, yes, but I'm glad that everybody else is starting to catch up with me. I've known this for a very long time. Everybody now with the Diddy thing, as their eyes are starting to be awakened, and I'm glad everybody is catching up. This Diddy thing is going to be a wake-up call. I've been sent a video that's entitled New Leaks Video Proof Britney Murphy's Deletion Was Planned by Diddy and Ashton Kutcher. So when she was deleted, I knew that there was a foul play. I did not know about Ashton Kutcher at the time, but many years later, I put it all together when, by the way, you're not going to be able to find any of this on the internet. I've looked, it's been scrubbed. Many years ago, Britney Murphy was running around with a Customs Border Patrol agent, and they were discussing maybe making a video just like that movie that just came out recently. They were wanting to make a movie about trafficking, and it was around this time that she passed away. But then also, the agent that she was running around with got harassed, her house got raided, and all kinds of bad things happened to her as well. I've been keeping track of this type of stuff for a very long time. Kate Spade of the handbag and fashion scene, she was deleted. She was with the Clinton Foundation and was involved with some Haiti stuff there. Anthony Bourdain, he was deleted as well. But two people that were deleted that's probably more in tune with our discussion was the lead singers of Soundgarden and Linkin Park. They both just happened to self-delete themselves right about the same time. Chris Cornell of Soundgarden in May 2017, Chester Bennington of Linkin Park on July 2017. So in May, June, July, within just a couple of months of each other, 2017, and I remember when this happened, these guys both decided to delete themselves. I think there were some other people that also were deleted that were former politicians. I'll have to check more into that. But I didn't know about the Ashton Kutcher angle until he suddenly was testifying in front of Congress about trafficking and how he was part of this thing to, be against trafficking, human trafficking on the border. And when I saw that, I knew that he was, I started to realize that he was a bad actor as well, because that's what they do. They use these, we're going to start these anti-trafficking organizations to really cover it up. That was the first red flag, and then ever since then, we've seen all kinds of weird stuff happening with Ashton Kutcher. He's had two girlfriends pass away. I mean, how many of you out there have two ex-girlfriends that passed away? He was part of some deal where he supposedly called a girl and then went over to her house, and between the time he called her and got there, she had been deleted. He saw he says he peeked in the window and saw something on the floor and he thought that she spilled red wine and that kind of stuff. And then his ex, Britney Murphy, passes away. We're going to watch this video, and this is the stuff I talked about in many videos. We'll get into this, and then we'll continue on with the discussion.
She was an actress with big potential. Then Britney Murphy died young. Well, now a new HBO Max documentary is looking into the star's troubled final years.
It's your first look at the blockbuster documentary that reveals new chilling information about the mysterious death of actress Britney Murphy.
The Diddy scandal has taken an even darker turn, with allegation now suggesting he may have poisoned some people who knew incriminating things about him. Recent reports claim that new witnesses have joined the investigation, allegedly linking Diddy and Ashton Kutcher to the tragic death of actress Britney Murphy. Both Murphy and Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, died young, with their causes of death ruled as pneumonia. The eerie similarities, combined with their connections to Diddy, are fueling growing suspicions and leaving fans questioning if there's more to these stories than meets the eye. Now, over the years, Diddy has been rumored to have been behind some shocking stuff, from the ending to Tupac and Biggie, to allegedly wanted to end Kid Cudi because he wanted to date Cassie. But one rumor that has always stuck with Diddy was his involvement in the Britney Murphy mysterious passing away. So, at first, Britney's death was ruled as pneumonia combined with anemia and some over-the-counter meds. Sounds straightforward, right? Wrong. Then came the whole mold theory, where people thought she might have died from black mold poisoning. But guess what? No evidence of mold was ever found. So that theory was out. But here's where it gets really shaky.
So, by the way, I forgot to mention that P. Diddy, I was watching a Joe Rogan show the other day, and they were talking about how Jamie Foxx was talking about Diddy tried to poison him, and he's the one that went to the FBI to start this whole thing. But not just that, where Kanye West also came out and he said that his trainer, Harley Pasternak, was giving him stuff to make him crazy, and they were going to try to put him in a loony bin and then a conservatorship. That's what the Kardashians and other people in the Hollywood area do, along with Harley Pasternak. Harley Pasternak, by the way, was Britney Murphy's trainer. So you see where all this is linked up here?
Britney's dad wasn't buying any of it, so he hired a private investigator, and boom, they allegedly found proof of heavy metal poisoning. And here's the kicker. It's supposedly the same kind of poisoning that's linked to Diddy's ex, Kim Porter. Now, this is where it gets super sketchy. Apparently, Britney Murphy was telling her friends before her death that she was scared someone was out to get her, and even suspected she was being slowly poisoned. Now, the drama doesn't stop there. Rumor has it that Kim Porter also confided in her close friends that she was scared for her life too. The coincidences are just too much to ignore. And then, just a few months after Britney's death, her husband, Simon, also died of the exact same thing, pneumonia and anemia. Like, seriously, what are the odds? It all just makes you wonder what on earth was really happening behind closed doors. Like, do you see the pattern here? So, because of this, people have recently started connecting the dots, and what they found has left everyone shocked. So, people have been side-eyeing the official stories surrounding Britney Murphy's death for years. And with new information bubbling up, it's looking like they might have been onto something. Especially when you throw in the bizarre connection between Diddy and Ashton Kutcher. We all know that Ashton and Diddy have been tight for years, which is interesting when you remember Ashton used to date Britney Murphy, and yet after her tragic death, Ashton got weirdly quiet about her. Now, add the fact that Ashton's name keeps popping up in all those stories about Diddy's freak-off parties and disturbing allegations. Now Britney was one of the biggest Hollywood stars in the early 2000s, bringing iconic performances in all her movies, and people genuinely loved her. However, her life behind the scenes took a dark and tragic turn, leading to her sudden and mysterious death at just 32 years old, and the mystery still haunts Hollywood to this day. So, back in 2009, on December 20th, to be exact, the LA Fire Department responded to a medical emergency at the home Britney shared with her husband, Simon Monjack. Despite Simon's attempts to resuscitate her and being rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, Britney tragically went into cardiac arrest, including the reported causes of pneumonia, anemia, and the presence of medications always had a couple of things that didn't add up. And this left fans and investigators with way more questions than answers. Now, what made the situation even more sus was Britney's husband Simon passing just months later under eerily similar circumstances. Now, here's where things get really sketchy. Britney's husband, Simon Monjack, actually didn't want an autopsy performed after her death, but legally he couldn't block it, so the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office went ahead with it the next day. A couple of months went by, and the coroner released the official report, ruling her death as accidental. The cause? Pneumonia with anemia and multiple substance intoxication listed as contributing factors. But here's the weird part. According to ABC News, the coroner's spokesperson, Craig Harvey, initially refused to elaborate on the substances involved. Simone, meanwhile, insisted that Britney didn't take anything dangerous. In an interview with People magazine, he claimed she was on herbal remedies that wouldn't speed up her heart. There was nothing here that could endanger her. Just some prescription meds for her time of the month and cough syrup. That's it. Naturally, fans couldn't help but feel like there was more to the story. Now, here's where things get even weirder. You see, Britney's mom, Sharon, backed up Simon's claim, saying Britney didn't use illegal substances or even drink alcohol. She initially thought Britney's death might have been caused by an undiagnosed heart condition, but things take a darker turn when you hear Britney had been complaining for weeks about feeling sick and even reportedly told people she thought she was being poisoned. Sharon later admitted Britney was paranoid someone was out to harm her. And get this, Britney's house had CCTV cameras and even fingerprint recognition locks. Clear signs she was living in fear before her death. Then, the story got even stranger when reports of mold issues in the Hollywood Hills home surfaced. Both Simon and Sharon later suggested toxic mold could have played a role in Britney's passing. But was that just a convenient excuse? Or something more sinister? Now the story gets even more suspicious. After the investigators requested for mold testing to be done after Britney's death, but guess what? Both Simon and Sharon refused. If they truly believed mold was the issue, why block an inspection? It just doesn't add. Pathologist Dr. Richard Shepard dismissed the mold theory entirely, saying the autopsy showed no fungi in her bloodstream or lungs. So that theory is out the window. But Britney's fear of being poisoned, that's a huge red flag. In her final months, Britney's behavior reportedly changed dramatically. She became paranoid, avoiding food and drinks from certain sources because she feared someone was out to harm her. According to some sources, she confided in close friends that she believed powerful people in Hollywood were watching her and had bad intent. And then there's her husband, Simon Monjack, a man surrounded by controversy. Not only was he much older than Britney, but they met when she was just 17. Simon had a reputation for shady dealings, including allegations of fraud, and many of Britney's friends believed he was taking advantage of her. Their relationship was riddled with red flags, and some people think Simon may have played a bigger role in the mystery surrounding Britney's tragic death.
Now the HBO documentary, What Happened, Britney Murphy, alleges Monjack was a con artist and contributed to her death. Britney's friend, actress Kathy Najimy, appears in the documentary.
During a little dip she was having, he came along. And I think that's where her judgment was muddled and she became prey. We all were scared and freaked out. Like, who was this guy?
And there's this shocking claim.
Simon said that he dated Elle Macpherson and Madonna. He said that he had been dying from terminal brain cancer and that he had bought an experimental treatment derived from the fins of sharks. Every single word out of his mouth was a lie.
Now, this is where things get really creepy. Just 5 months after Britney's death, Simon Monjack died the exact same way. Pneumonia and anemia. And when the mold theory was debunked, attention turned to something even darker. A few years later, Britney's dad, Angelo Bertolotti, hired a private lab to investigate, and the results were chilling. They found high levels of heavy metals in Britney's hair, far beyond normal. And these metals, the type typically found in rat poison or insecticides. Angelo outright said he believed his daughter was murdered. So, why didn't the initial autopsy catch this? Experts say the coroner's office wouldn't test for heavy metals unless poisoning was specifically suspected. But hold on, Britney had been voicing fears of being poisoned to her friends and family. Why wasn't this taken seriously? All these red flags, from her paranoia to the refusal to test for mold, were ignored. And when you add Sharon and Simon blocking key investigations, it just screams cover up. Speaking of Sharon, Britney's mom, her behavior after Britney's death raised even more eyebrows. Sharon lived with Britney and Simon and was known to be very close to her daughter. But after Britney's death, rumors began swirling about Sharon and Simon's relationship, with some suggesting the two became uncomfortably close. It's just another bizarre twist in this already unsettling story, and the plot thickens, y'all. After Simon's death, Sharon sold the Hollywood Hills home immediately and suddenly stopped pushing the mole theory she had once supported. It's left everyone wondering, why wouldn't she demand deeper investigations into her daughter's suspicious death? If there were so many red flags, wouldn't a mother want answers? Fans have speculated that Sharon and Simon might have been involved in a cover-up, but what about the powerful Hollywood people Britney was so afraid of? Some sources say Britney was blacklisted for refusing to play the Hollywood game, which allegedly included steering clear of Diddy's notorious freak-off parties. Now, you might be wondering, how does Diddy fit into all this? Well, Britney reportedly entered these circles through her connection to Ashton Kutcher, one of Diddy's closest friends. Britney and Ashton started dating in late 2002 after meeting on the set of Just Married. Is this where Britney's troubles began? The connections between Britney, Diddy, and Ashton leave fans with so many questions. All right, y'all, let's dive deeper because Britney and Ashton's story has some serious twists. Back when they were together, rumors flew that they were engaged because they were seen wearing matching rings, but that was never confirmed. Their romance was short-lived, lasting only 5 months, and allegedly ended because Ashton cheated with none other than Demi Moore, another rumored guest at Diddy's infamous parties. The timing was super suspicious because Ashton and Demi went public right after he and Britney split, raising tons of red flags. But here's where it gets even darker. Recent speculation suggests Britney, like Kim Porter, may have known too much about Diddy and Ashton's party activities. And get this, anonymous sources have reportedly reached out to the feds with evidence that Britney discovered disturbing details about Diddy and Ashton's alleged behavior at those freak-off parties. These claims involve deeply troubling acts, and it's rumored Britney began questioning Ashton's close ties to Diddy before her death. But wait, there's more. A celebrity medium, Sloan Bella, recently claimed that powerful Hollywood figures, including Diddy, allegedly harvest energy during these so-called rituals involving young people. Sloan also alleged that Kim Porter found out about these rituals and was planning to expose them in her tell-all book before her untimely passing. Now reports are surfacing that Britney may have uncovered similar information, and her suspicions about Ashton's connections with Diddy might have put her in danger. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you make of Britney and Kim's eerily similar deaths? And do you think Britney's knowledge of Diddy and Ashton's alleged activities could have played a role in her tragic passing? Drop your theories below, and let's talk about Ashton's very problematic past next.
Yeah, so it looks like to me, so we're talking about, so she, like I said, she had allegedly the same trainer as Kanye, a guy named Harley Pasternak. And again, I'm going to put all the videos that I did at the end screens here so you can go check them out. But he was intelligence. He was Canadian intelligence. That's what Kanye said. He was part of a star whacker thing in Hollywood there where they would make them crazy, get them committed, and then take their money. And it looks like the mother and her shady husband were potentially maybe approached. That's what it looks like to some people, myself included. They were sketchy. They were already sketchy types, and then they acted even more sketchy after she passed away, and then he passed away too. It's almost as if they got rid of another person that could blow the whistle. But this is an ongoing thing. We see this over and over again. Anybody that crosses Diddy ends up having a heart attack or pneumonia. His wife, Kim Porter, Albie Shore, Jamie Foxx supposedly said that recently that he was poisoned by Diddy. Albie Shore, Heavy D, Britney Murphy, and like I said before, she was potentially looking at trafficking stuff, and now this video is saying that she thinks that she might have been passed away because of things that she had seen with Diddy and Ashton Kutcher. So here we go again with the trafficking thing. We know that there was a lot of all kinds of different types of trafficking going on there. And like I said at the beginning of this video, Ashton was part of some congressional hearings where he was supposedly part of some group that was supposedly trying to stop it, but just like all these others, they put themselves in the position not to stop it. He was also pals with Danny Masterson, who is in jail for a long time right now for grape. When he and Mila Kunis wrote a letter talking about what a great guy Danny Masterson was, this trafficking organization had him resign, and that's that. So go check out these videos here I've got at the end of this video where they talk about how Chris Gamble is a CIA agent. The Kardashians are CIA assets. They attempted to do this same thing that they did with Britney Murphy to Kanye West. And we will see you on the next Ultra Top Secret. Please like, share, and subscribe.